But there was one other chant, and this particular chant was heard on the streets of Washington and New York, and from a member of Congress. The chant is, "From the river to the sea, Palestine will be free." And it's anti-Semitic because it implies from the river to the sea, it's from the Jordan River to the Mediterranean Sea, they would wipe Israel off the face of the earth. And here's the thing, Congresswoman Tlaib from the great state of Michigan used that and got some blowback. Watch this.
Mr. President, the American people are not with you on this one. We will remember in 2024.
Well produced, well financed. Good job. You're watching a civil war on the left because, Lawrence, Bernie Sanders was asked to condemn these remarks. He didn't. We have Tlaib saying what she's saying, and Omar did not condemn this, and Jayapal did not condemn these remarks against their own president. That's what happens when you weaponize this woke victim ideology. It blows up in your face, doesn't it?
Yeah, the problem is, Brian, it's just not wokeism now. I mean, they're advocating for the annihilation of Jews. These are hate crimes. Right. The rhetoric are directly from radical Islam. And pretty soon, we're going to understand exactly what they mean. One of our producers here was telling me a story. He lives about 10 minutes away from the local synagogue. It was surrounded by pro-Palestinian protesters, pro-Hamas supporters that are there. If it's not about Jews, if it's not about the people, then why are you surrounding a synagogue? Please explain to me how that's okay. What would happen if you surrounded a mosque? What would be the reaction toward that? Pretty soon we have to take all of these folks that are having the Hamas flag, saying to the river, from the river to the sea, at their words. They want to annihilate Jews. It's just that plain and simple.
Do you know what was also in that spot, Lawrence? There was also the shot of the hospital, which Islamic Jihad blew up. It's been debunked that it was the IDF, and she put it in the 30-second spot condemning her Democratic president.
Yeah, because we know where she stands. I mean, she's not coy of where she stands. I don't think we should be coy as well. Another person who wasn't coy was Senator Bernie Sanders, and he refused to condemn her. Watch.
There are credible reports from agencies across the world and, the United. We are hurtling towards the genocide of Palestinians. That is not an isolated view.
What's going on right now is a horror show. We don't have to quibble about words. Thousands of men, women, and children are being killed. It has got to end right now.
Well, somebody on the left did chastise her, and that would be Representative Elisa Slotkin. She's the only Jewish member of the delegation from the great state of Michigan. She said regarding from the river to the sea, she said, if I knew that a phrase I had used had hurt any of my constituents, I would apologize and retract it no matter its origin. Wow. I ask the same of you.
Yeah, and a very notable position from Senator Bernie Sanders, who is, of course, a Jewish American himself. And at the last little bit of what Pramila Jayapal said is that she says we are hurtling towards the genocide of Palestinians. I think a good follow-up question for her there would be, well, then how do you explain the fact that Israel has dropped hundreds of thousands of flyers, sent 6 million text messages to Palestinians telling them to leave, and if you don't, you're taking your own life into your hands.
And they set up a corridor for them to get out, and it's up to Egypt to open up the Rafah Pass in order to get them through the gate. We've gotten 300 Americans who are in Gaza out. There's more, I think at least 100, right? Right. Another 100?
One of the problems with the situation in Gaza City, though, is we've heard from the IDF that people who got the leaflets, got the text message, got the phone call, they tried to leave, and then the Hamas people are shooting at them, so they got to stay in their house. So
right, but there's some great video out there. There's some great video out there that shows exactly them popping up from the tunnels right inside the hospital. You see where they've been targeted right into the tunnel. So, there is a 2000 bomb that was dropped. I get it. It was a bunker buster because there's a subterranean subway down beneath full of Hamas killers. But for the most part, they've been extremely disciplined in their targeting.
Indeed.
Well, also, Brian, I think it's important to note that some of the people that are there still stand with Hamas as well. So, I mean, we've had reporters on the ground to get these people and talk to them, and they're supposed to be moderates, but their rhetoric is not moderate at all.
Yeah, they
so
might
I
be
think
Hamas
that's important
anyway.
to note when we're talking about these people.
Yeah, they don't wear jerseys. They dress like civilians, but they're really killers.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.